Hello and welcome to the Noise of Three. I'm Goat.
I'm Dylan.
And I'm Zach.
And today, we're going to be talking about various things, just things we've watched recently. Suicide Squad is on that
It's
list.
been a while, and we've all been watching stuff.
I've been up to shenanigans.
So everyone's been up to shenanigans.
Yeah. We've all been up to shenanigans. All right, so what we're going to go ahead and talk about. Dylan, do you have any pressing matters you'd like to...
Go ahead and get your Suicide Squad.
All right,
out.
cool. I'm about to get that shit right out the way.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about
Okay,
Suicide
but
Squad
first
too.
off, I have not seen it. Goat over here has seen it, and Zach over here has seen it.
Are we going to spoil it, or are we just going to
Yes.
try to...
Yes, we're going to spoil this
Spoilers for everything we talk about.
fucking movie. Holy shit, where do we begin? I guess we would start from the beginning, like...
The very beginning.
Yeah. Alright, cool. Zach, what do you remember about the beginning? Alright, you got to talk.
I
The
don't.
true answer is nothing.
That's why I'm sitting here. I don't really remember how it started.
So it's out in fucking Louisiana.
Oh
they're
shit, that's right. They start
yes.
off with the black
black
hole
site.
prison, the black site.
They're at the black site in
Yeah,
Louisiana.
and it's that guy making fun of Quick Shot or whatever. Will Smith.
Deadshot.
Deadshot.
Yeah, and you start the movie
It's
with
Will
a
Smith
little
to me.
introduction.
Will Smith.
Smith.
You start a movie with the introduction of each of the members of the Suicide Squad. They're all right. Fire Cholo's the best.
Isn't his name El Diablo?
His name is...
They
Well,
call
that's
him
what
El
he...
Diablo.
That's what
like
he goes.
twice.
That's
in
what
the
he
movie?
goes by. Like
That's what
that
he
was
is
his.
in the Batman comics.
That was his street name, and remember he's trying to change.
Well, no, they call him El Diablo twice in the movie, and then the rest they just call him Esse. I just called him Fire
Esse.
Cholo because we never got an actual name.
No,
If
they
we
say
did-
they say his name in the file when she's introducing everybody.
Yeah.
They said his actual name because it was like, I don't want to say stereotypical guy from Arizona name,
That man was a stereotype.
but it was.
They played him. You know what? Okay. We'll get there. But anyway, so what's happening in this movie so far is you're introducing everybody. I forget the black woman's name. Do you know her name?
She's
Amanda?
angry. No, she's
Amanda Waller. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
angry black woman in charge. That's all
Yeah.
you need to know.
I just called her the little black gnome because that's what she was the whole movie.
No, but see, I don't want to say that because then that means gnomes are evil and bad, and you don't want to.
Yeah, Kareem is evil and bad.
But gnomes, I don't think are inherently bad.
I do. Terry the gnome's an asshole. But anyway, so you get an introduction to the Suicide Squad and to Amanda Waller. Fast forward, she's like, "Yo, it's time."
We need
And
the next group of people that'll be like Batman.
She introduces.
Sorry, Superman.
Yeah, the metahumans is what they call them, because mutant is a straight up copyrighted word now.
Seriously?
Yes,
You mean we can't call you what you really are?
they can't say mutant in the what's called the Avengers movies.
That's why they're genetically modified.
Yeah. Or metahumans. They say it, I think they say it in Avengers.
I'm fine with meta. You know what I think when they say metahumans?
Hmm.
I imagine someone just stepping out of the internet and just shit talking
Yeah,
and
it's
meme
just-
talking everywhere.
It's
That's
just a
what
metahuman.
that's what I imagine when they say metahuman.
Alright, I see you, Lord Voldemort.
Lord Voldemort?
Ganondorf, whichever.
Dylan's over here sticking bottle rockets in his hair because it's oh so luscious.
But yeah.
I have
so
5 dreads right now. I need to fix my life.
No, just let it dread up. You'll be fine.
so she
I don't want to culturally
introduces
appropriate people.
Sure. She introduces the Enchantress, which is this actual deity.
It's like I don't want to say. Was it Mayan?
I believe so.
Yeah, it was some
was South
some
American.
South American, but they were gods. They were the
Yes.
gods. They were the people that all the
Well,
South
she was a
American
witch.
countries sacrificed to.
Quote unquote. But yeah, so she was a deity that possessed the body of Dr. June Moon, and she takes over from time to time, and she can be summoned by Dr. June Moon by having her name called, and it's kind of hard to switch him back. But Amanda Waller has the Enchantress's heart in a suitcase, and it's just like, yo,
if
you do what I say, or I'm gonna stab the shit out of it. So what happens is, she's like, I've got this guy named Flag who is in love with June Moon, and they pretty much work together.
So all this is going on while she's talking to like heads of state, trying to get her project green lighted,
Yes,
which
at
is
the Pentagon.
which is Suicide Squad, but they call it like Team
Task
X,
Force X.
Yes.
Task Force X.
I read a lot of the Suicide Squad comics.
Yeah, Suicide Squad is pretty good. I like them. I didn't read all that much, but I do know that they did some fairly large injustices to these characters in
Yes.
this movie. Captain Boomerang is fucking especially.
Yes.
I like Captain Boomerang.
Captain
I
Boomerang.
mean, he's dumb.
Yeah, he's super dumb.
Yeah, like he's
How are
shocker
any-
tier.
How are any of these people going to solve anything?
That's the
The
point.
only
right?
one that probably could have done something was like Deadshot, because
No.
he has a.
Deadshot has no superpowers.
No,
Well, I
he's
know,
just
but
a
I'm
really
saying
good
he has
shot.
a like. If you were to put him in a team of other people like him, they could tear it up pretty good.
How are they going to stop Superman?
What was Slipknot's power? Or
He could climb anything. That was his whole fucking gimmick. That's why his hair was dreads, because they were knots.
and then you have what's his name? You have the Crocodile Man.
Killer Croc is
Killer
actually
Croc.
the only one who's an actual meta-human in that
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're saying metahuman. They're just taking it as mutations. Like Deadshot, there's probably something
Nope.
wrong with him. Like, no, I'm not saying he probably has something. Not
He's
a
read the
normal-
comic,
not
Zach.
normal. Is
No.
he? Is he really not? Is he really just a
He's
normal
just
human?
a guy who's good at shooting.
Yes. That's his whole gimmick, is he's a good shot.
Well, I
Like
was.
El Diablo can breathe fire. Killer Croc has superhuman stuff and has all the
I
powers
almost
of a
fucking forgot
crocodile.
about him.
Oh yeah, then there's El Diablo, the
El
actual
Diablo
good character.
and Killer Croc.
Harley Quinn fell into acid, which turned her hair red and blue, and then also made her slightly stronger than a normal human.
Right.
Oh, that they had was acid.
Some chemical.
Because I tell you what, it did not look like acid. I don't know what they were trying to say it was.
Well, yeah, didn't you see how it tore through the clothes? And only the clothes? And bleached the clothes? And only the clothes? Didn't even bleach their
I didn't even
skin.
think it tore the clothes really bad because they came out of it in the Joker.
It did. Yeah, you see that his shoulder has been eaten through. Well, the clothes have.
'Cause, I mean, when
eaten
he
through his
jumped- he
shoulder.
jumped-
Katana has no powers.
Yeah, she just has a
no,
magic
she has
sword.
yeah, she has a magic sword.
Yeah, she has implements basically.
Yeah.
They're better off assembling people like the Flash. Like, why the hell didn't they do that?
Oh, but anyway, let's go back. They introduced in the very beginning of the movie. They introduced Killer Croc, El Diablo.
Which is great.
Hold on, Killer Croc, El Diablo, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, and Harley Quinn. These are the ones they introduce, along with the Enchantress, who ends up being the villain of this movie. All right, so the Enchantress goes nuts, and she just one night when she was with Flag, she goes into Amanda Waller's house and
Tries
is
to
trying
steal
to
her
get her
heart.
heart. And then she ends up finding her brother, who's locked in a talisman like she was. And then she takes the talisman and unleashes him onto the world. And now we have this fucking, what's it called? We have this Prototype 2 villain walking around.
Which was
Yeah.
so when he first
Yes.
started, like when you first see him, I'm like, oh, this could be cool. And then like he starts absorbing like people, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then he like becomes who he is, and I'm just like, when the hell is that thing from Thor that shoots the giant laser out of his eye? You know,
Yeah.
the metal thing. That's what he looks like. I'm like, what happened?
He looks exactly like the way he's built. He looks like the fucking Destroyer from the Thor 2 movie.
I did not think. If you look at the way they drew the deities from like Mayan and all the other South American civilizations, he
Well,
didn't
they're
look.
aliens.
He didn't look like that. I think they could have designed him differently. Now that's how if that's how he's designed in the comic, I don't know. Is he? I don't know if he's part of the comic
I don't
or not.
think.
I don't recognize a brother to the Enchantress.
I, mean,
But anyway,
I feel like his design should have been different.
they're like, hey, guys, time to fucking move out. And they just take everyone and they put bombs in their necks, right?
Oh, so it's Escape from New York.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But,
It's always Escape from New York, even in
Megas XLR?
even in Megas XLR.
But anyway, so they take him to this military base, and Flag is their handler, and they talk to everybody.
You tell 'em
and
what's going
he's
down.
He's like, all right, so this is what you're going to do. And then they introduce another character, Slipknot, the man who can climb anything. He is just in full gear, and he steps out of a car, and he punches a woman in the face. All right. This man has 2 lines in this whole movie, and was shown in 1 trailer, and then is killed. He is to show that they actually have bombs in their neck. this man was incredibly useless, and you could tell from the moment he stepped out of the car because he was not part of the main team.
You know who I feel bad for in that scenario? I feel bad for the actor in that scenario.
Yeah, that guy.
No, he got his free lunch.
Yeah.
But no, because it's like, yeah, it'd be like, oh, what movie are you in? Oh, Suicide Squad? Sorry, we're not going to hire you.
I don't know
Because,
who'll do
he
anything.
he only had like,
Yeah.
oh, shit.
Yeah.
He only had like that one part, and I mean, if because I feel like I've seen him somewhere else before.
I don't know. I don't recognize his face.
I thought I'd seen him somewhere before. I'm pretty sure he was in Kick-Ass.
Maybe?
I'm pretty.
Anyway.
But yeah, I mean,
So, what happens is they get to the city. They all have bombs on their neck. and
they
he's-
tell him that they're going after terrorists.
Yeah, they make up some lie about they're doing wet work, which is what the movie should have been.
Just an old soldier hired to do some wet work.
Anyway, so they're like, Captain Boomerang's talking to Slipknot. He's like, yo, man, we don't really have bombs in our neck. They've just got us trapped in our own minds. We can just free ourselves right now. And so Slipknot's like, good idea. And
Just
then
starts climbing.
he just starts climbing very
'Cause
slowly,
that's
I
what he
might add.
does.
They could have shot him down at any fucking point. Like, he was going up like fucking two miles per fucking hour.
Yeah, there was no reason to blow his damn head off.
And then he just, Flag just presses the little thing on
He's got a-
touchpad
he's
and his
got
head
a-
explodes.
He's got a little tablet on his wrist.
The thing I've heard about this scene is that, so, when you hold a phone, that's touchscreen, you usually hold it on the edges.
Yes.
Like, I'm showing them. But I've heard people, she's holding it like this.
Oh, well, she's got
She's
grist
got her fingers
No, that
on
was-
the screen.
That
Yes.
was the end scene. That was one of the very last scenes. But
Yeah.
when this scene we're talking about, he has it on his wrist and he just goes to this. He has a little thing. All their faces are on the tablet screen thing.
Like the Predator.
And he just goes, boop, Slipknot, psh, just chunk of his neck gone.
Well, no, his whole head's exploded because it's got the power of a hand grenade. Like they made sure.
It's a little too potent.
Yeah, they made
Well,
sure.
so they made sure that they were going to die when it went off. I mean, it'd be different if it just caused like a little, it just poked a hole in their vein and they slowly bled to death and they would never know it happened.
But anyhow, so they keep walking and then they find these mud soldiers with like big swollen heads with millions of eyes. They honestly kind of look like
The winter dolls from Bloodborne.
No, they kind of look like. In all honesty, they kind of look like the corrupted from the DLC from DS1.
Oh.
They do look,
Yeah.
like even for me, they looked familiar and I didn't know.
Then again, they didn't
I
play
didn't know what it was
Bloodborne that
from.
far, so they may look exactly like them. It's just that's what they look like to me. Oh, he's getting his phone out. Cool. But I'm gonna keep talking while this happens. And so
Flag also, it's important to note, Flag keeps telling Deadshot, he's like, yeah, you're going to be the first one to up and run and I'm going
Yeah.
to blow your head off.
hey, he's just being a dick for no reason. Like he's just inciting.
I mean,
violence.
there's a reason for him being a dick because you didn't go over this. The lady that's in charge,
Amanda Waller.
she's blackmailing Flag because Flag fell in love with the archaeologist person.
Yeah, she did that on purpose.
Yeah, so Flag didn't originally know that she was the enchantress, and then he showed her that she was the enchantress, and then she's like, "Well, I can just kill her, so you better do what I want you to do."
Yeah. And
So he's being a dick for a reason.
one of the main things about this film is that Flag can't. Nah, they don't look like that. Flag can't die. Like he can, but like if he dies,
They're just
the
going
whole
to kill.
Suicide Squad's
Yeah, they're
dead.
going to kill them all.
So these black things keep going after Flag. They keep attacking him and trying to carry him off. And Suicide Squad is helping him out. And for the first fucking half of this movie, El Diablo doesn't do shit to help anybody.
He just sits there and goes, "Nah, man, you don't want me to lose control."
Yeah. And fast forward, a whole lot of just bullshit happens. A whole lot of nothing.
The fight. I don't want to say the fight scenes were bad, but they were.
Yes, they were.
They were slightly entertaining.
These fight scenes were so fucking poorly edited. It was the most jump cut bullshit I have
That's what
seen
happens
in
when
a
you have
while.
2 editors from 2 companies
Yeah, it looks bad.
editing
Like,
one project.
Gavin, Nick, Sam, and I, we all saw this movie. We were all confused when the fight scenes happened. There was one good shot in that film. One good fight scene. You know what it was? Deadshot was like
It was
dynamically
when he was
posed
on
the
top
car.
of the car.
Yeah,
I
he
was about to say because the one you're talking about,
Yeah.
that was that's the fight scene I'm talking about. That's when you say fight scene, that's the one I think about.
Yeah,
because that's the first real one.
I've heard the only well shot like A to B scene in this is the bar.
yes.
The bar was,
And that's
a
when you
great
actually get backstory. That's when you get character development. That's when the characters actually interact and aren't just making jokes.
You want to talk about the soundtrack?
It starts off with the theme song to my car. The
You didn't even think about that, did you?
The soundtrack was.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, the sound. Sorry, my jaw was actually like aghast because like after the first 6 songs, I blanked out on the music. Yo, this soundtrack is a 13-year-old soundtrack.
It's just pop song after pop
The
song.
first song.
We got
No,
the
no.
soundtrack at Target, and I read the back of it, and I was like, "There's no
The
original
first
songs on
song
here."
is
No, not
not
at
a
all.
pop song.
Oh, it's the fucking.
The first song is "House of the Rising Sun" by
That's-
the Animals.
Yeah, and that song's overplayed.
Yeah.
And I get why they did it because they were introducing.
It's because they're in Louisiana.
Yeah, I know they were introducing.
and that
the
song
Black
is
Side.
not overplayed. It's a great song.
This song is overplayed in every fucking movie. Like every time that song comes on, my eyes roll in the back of my head because that song is just fucking. It's too
What
much.
other movies is it used in?
I don't know. I've heard it multiple times though, and
Because
I've heard
I
it-
play it a lot.
No, I don't hang out with you when you play it. I've never heard you play that song. Also, I was in choir, and that song we had to sing that song to a Queen song. We had to sing it to a different like actual beat.
That is weird. But so
Alright.
you already hate the song anyway. so
fucking-
it
that
doesn't
song's
it
toxic.
doesn't start off with a pop song.
That
I
song-
wanted to make that clear because there are pop songs later on, like a lot later on, and like it
Eminem's
starts.
in this movie,
Oh,
like
I know.
his music.
I know.
I was
Disgust.
happy because I like Eminem,
Yeah.
and I know you don't like Eminem.
No,
but
and
that's, you know.
The thing that bothers me is that they just put no effort into anything in this.
No,
fucking
so I don't.
film.
I don't think the soundtrack was. All right, like half the songs were really
They had
bad.
to pay so much money.
That's what I was saying. They paid out the ass for these songs. I don't think so. If they would have just kept it to like one, like style, or each person had like their own specific style whenever they were on screen or whatever, that would have been fine.
They
but
did. Each person got a different song when they were introduced.
I know that, but throughout the rest of the movie,
Could you do that? They were all together constantly.
just have an overarching theme, which they didn't. Or
Yeah.
they tried to do, but it was bad.
What would you say? I don't think they had an overarching theme.
No, I'm talking about for music, like when they would do
Right.
stuff.
I don't think they had an overarching theme.
That's the problem. They didn't.
But anyhow, let's go ahead and skip to the end.
First song was
No,
fine.
the bar scene where you get the
That's,
backstory.
that's
for El
pretty much
Diablo.
that's the end. There's one other scene after that.
When you get to El Diablo's backstory.
Oh god.
He's talking about his family and is the typical fire starter backstory. You know, like they get given Hellboy
Yep.
and they give in what's another one?
Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Well, and there's a third one that I was thinking of.
Spawn.
Yes. Yeah. All like it's just a typical backstory. It's like, yeah, I had a family, everything was great, and then I accidentally killed them all.
Kratos.
But what I really like is he would,
Okay, he didn't accidentally kill his family.
when they were
He
doing
was tricked by Zeus.
when he was talking about it, he had like a little flame chick, and then he was like, yeah, and then I fucked up or whatever, and he puts like a shot glass over it,
And she suffocates.
and yeah, and she keeps dancing and she suffocates and smolders out, and I really like that imagery.
So he killed his. Yeah, no, he was great. It should have been about him.
Can I talk about this?
Well, give me 1 second. I'm giving the rest of the exposition.
Okay.
So you get his backstory, which easily makes him the best character, even though it's so generic, because no one else is actually relatable. Deadshot has a whole thing with his daughter, and this is where I get upset. Because Batman... They just make Batman an asshole in this film.
Batman versus Superman did.
No, in this film.
No,
They paint him even more as
Yeah,
an
Batman
Right,
is Batman's
because
the
they have
dick
to.
in
asshole. Oh,
this.
Jesus fuck.
because
yeah,
of
you're right.
Batman versus Superman.
So what happens is Deadshot is
With his
walking
sto-
his daughter home after like a
Shopping.
successful... No, he was walking her home.
Yeah, but they had bags.
Yeah.
So like they were shopping.
Right, Zach.
Irrelevant.
No, it's
So-
relevant.
Zach, he's walking her home, and they're talking. His daughter's like, "Yo, I know you kill people," and he's like, "What? What do you mean? I don't."
Brackets loud sweating.
Yeah, and he just had a successful hit, and he got $2 million from it. So like he's set. He's like, yo, I'm ready to take you. Your mom's a piece of shit. You shouldn't take care of her. She should be taking care of you.
Yeah, because the daughter's going like, I learned how to make pancakes. And then Deadshot's like, you shouldn't have to take care of your mom. But the girl's like, no, it's fine.
It's implied that his mom's a hooker. But anyway, so he's like, yo, I can take care of you. And then they take a turn to an alley, and Batman just shows up. And he's like, yo, don't make me beat your ass in front of your daughter. And then Deadshot's like, all right.
I'm just going to fucking kill you.
Goes to shoot him. And his daughter steps in front of him, and Batman beats him up anyway, and handcuffs him to, like, a fire hydrant or something, and leaves him with his daughter to cry on him until the cops arrive.
So they make it a little more sad in that, like, his daughter steps in front of him, and she's like, Dad, don't do it.
He should have just shot her in the head.
And he's just sitting there, and he's just, like, has his gun pointed at her, pointed at Batman. Batman's just sitting there like, oh, you're not going to shoot your daughter. And, you know, Deadshot's just like, shit.
Well, yeah, see...
You'd be dead wrong.
Yeah.
That's what he should have done. He should have curved that shit.
That would be the best Will Smith role of all time.
We broke goat.
Why doesn't my daddy want me?
But anyway, so back to the bar. I want to talk about the bar.
Go ahead.
Goat?
So, no, stop it. It's mine.
It's mine now.
Just wait for the burn.
Boy, you act like I haven't drinking moonshine before.
But anyway, so we go back to the bar, and in Pyro Boy's story,
Fire Cholo.
In his story, I forget who asked it, but they go, well, Captain Boomerang. He goes, did the kids die?
And Harley Quinn's like, yeah.
Of course they fucking died. And then she's just like, you better own that shit. You did it. You have to own it. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I can dig that.
And then Captain Boomerang goes, you know what? You're all right on the outside, but you're fucking ugly on the inside. And she goes, yeah, we all are. Except for him. Points to Killer Croc and goes, he's ugly on the outside. And he goes, nah, bitch, I'm fucking beautiful. And that's what made Killer Croc.
That's because you should identify as Killer Croc.
I guess I do. He just goblins everywhere.
I mean...
Yeah, crocodiles.
Huh?
Crocodiles.
Yeah?
He crocodiles everywhere, but what if a crocodile is just this earth?
Listen, I've heard of goblin sharks. Haven't heard of no goblin crocodiles.
Well, no, see, here's the deal.
Yeah, that's why, because we're too good at hiding.
Dylan, goblin sharks are a reptilian plot trying to cover up the fact that
that's another episode,
goblin
Zach.
Alligators.
Zach, that's another episode.
No, I'm just saying that the reptilians don't want us to know that there's goblin alligators and
Dylan's
crocodiles.
stand is coming out.
Whereas
they're just crystals.
See, goblin sharks are fine because they can't walk on
No,
land.
it's just Henry Zabrowski.
But the second there are goblin alligators and crocodiles, the whole civilization is
pretty
fucked.
face is going to hell.
Yeah.
In like the stand brackets.
Oh, that's good.
All right, back on topic.
But
So
yeah,
the real problem is once they get on land, we don't know how to stop them.
I thought you just said back on topic, and you just go back to some bullshit that you just made up. But
Hey, I
anyway.
didn't make that up. That's just as real as the talking catfish.
Anyhow, so they go and they're like, all right. The flag comes and he's like, all right, you're free to go. And then
Pour me a drink.
smashes stuff. Smashes his thing. And Captain Boomerang fucking bolts, like, immediately.
He picks up a can of beer and walks out.
No, not even. He just fucking runs.
He's
this
like,
man's
I'm
gone.
going to go fuck a kangaroo.
Yeah.
No, koala bear. They don't put up
No.
as much of a fight.
Also,
That's why you hit them with a car.
Also, there's an important part. Deadshot, Harley Quinn's already tried to escape once and almost did it. And we're going to talk about her.
Why
and
is her
Joker.
head not just exploded?
It's because the Joker's her honey.
Oh, yeah. Her head's not exploded because
You gotta
Joker
explain
did
that.
a fail-safe.
What he did is he went and he found the guy that developed it, right? Because that site it's a black site, but it's not really that secure because it's like, who the hell gives a shit about these scientists? He gets him, puts him in a helicopter, and when they're near them, like when they can interfere with the because it's like an RFID chip in their neck with a bomb attached to it, he goes, disable it.
So what I was going to do is I was going to talk about Joker and Harley's whole side plot at the end. So we'll save that for a little bit later.
Why don't you just let him know that that's why she's not.
Yeah,
that's why she
she's
didn't
not dead.
die.
And Deadshot, she's like Amanda Waller when she was trying to escape via helicopter. She's like, kill her. And he goes, no. She goes, I'll let you be free and have your daughter. And he goes, all right, she's dead. And then he doesn't kill her.
He misses.
And he just goes, I missed.
But
It's like the Daredevil movie.
So fucking dumb.
I've never seen the Daredevil movie.
But anyway, so Flag is like, I'm
Don't
gonna
do that
go,
to your table, Zach.
and I can't fucking play with the screwdriver. All right, fuck you guys, or the drill bit. But anyhow,
What?
so Flag is like, I'm gonna go save my girlfriend. Deadshot goes,
I didn't do
I am
anything.
too. And then everyone is like, let's go. I got nothing better to do.
Yeah,
And
we're
then
sitting here in the
Captain
middle of.
Boomerang comes back like immediately.
Well, no,
Oh,
he's
what's up, guys?
like he sees them walking. I guess he walks out of the
Yeah,
alley
and
as
he
he just
walks
has
with
his
them.
Foster's Australian for beer. He takes his Foster's can and just throws it behind him.
But anyway, so they go up to the big bad, and they're like, all right, time to take the big bad down. And the big bad, Enchantress, goes, hey, I know what you want, and I can give it to you, and makes them all see visions of what they want.
And the Mexican guy.
And this is where it gets confusing for me.
all right,
Because
okay,
it shows Harley Quinn. She's like, her whole thing is that she's living a normal life with 2 kids, and she's married to Joker, who's a normal man. All right, that's a little weird. And then Flag, she shows Flag him with Dr. Moon. Shows Deadshot with his daughter, and he killed Batman that night. And it shows Fire Cholo with his family. And Fire Cholo goes, no, I can't take it back. And then and wakes everyone up. But see, the way they implied it, it didn't make it like they were frozen in their own dream state because they were still talking with everyone else.
it made him
So-
seem like she, like, not brought him back, but whatever they were doing, it wasn't the past.
It didn't make sense because, like, the movie didn't make it look like she was mind controlling them, or at least showing them, or at least, like, making them so involved in the illusion. It just kind of made it look
This
like,
is
look,
what you.
look
This is what you
can
could have. This is behind door A.
Yeah. But apparently, that was a big scene, and then Fire Cholo just gets, like, a lot of momentum, and they're like, all right, so we got this bomb.
That's because he's a fire cholo. He's a cholo, so he don't like people messing with his family. He's like, you can't bring back from the dead. That's some voodoo shit. I ain't having
Yeah,
that.
and he's like, I'm not losing more than one family today. I'm not losing another one. Which, I'll get to that in a second, because that line itself fucking bothers me. But anyway.
Because they don't really like each other.
So, yeah. So,
Well,
this whole
Harley
time,
Quinn might, because she's fucked up in the head. But
Killer Croc and 3 guys are under the water, and they're planting a mine that will kill the brother, the other
it'll
guy.
pull him down into the water minimum.
So-
at
so-
least.
In this movie, it sounds like Harley Quinn should always be on screen. And when she's not on screen, people should be asking, where's Harley Quinn?
Yeah, because it's her movie.
Ugh.
But anyway, so
Harley Quinn's not even interesting.
So I want to talk
you
about
know
this
what
real
makes
quick.
her interesting? Her fucking relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hold on.
So that, like, from a writing standpoint, that inherently makes her not interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting thing here. I was watching The Late Show, with Stephen Colbert, and they had Will Smith on, and they were talking about Suicide Squad, and
Did he
he's
talk about how much he hates Jared Leto?
And how much?
no, he didn't. But what he talks about being the oldest guy on set, pretty much, because he's, I think, mid 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and the lady that plays
Harley Quinn?
Harley Quinn, she's 20,
Yeah.
and she brought her own. Yeah, she brought her own tattoo gun on set, and she was like, "Yeah, let's all get squad tattoos. Just say squad."
Yeah.
And Will Smith was like, "Yeah, I forgot how stupid people were when they were 20."
Yeah, they
And-
were doing that
and
shit to each other.
and he goes, "Well, but I have peer pressure issues." And so Colbert's like, "Well, did you get a tattoo?" He goes, "No, but I gave one." I'm pretty sure he gave it to it was one of the guys on set. It was either Slipknot or the Captain,
Dude,
not
if
Captain
you're
Croc.
Slipknot, you got a squad tattoo, you're fucking done.
So,
But anyway, he said it
26
was,
on
it was
Rotten
really bad.
Tomatoes.
Yeah.
You got a tattoo for 26 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, it's
Enjoy
because
that.
look at who's trying to get you to get it. That's why.
But anyway, so
I just had to say that.
Fire Cholo fights the big guy while they're stalling for time, and then just becomes a
Like
deity.
yeah,
He
yeah.
literally becomes like a skeleton god.
He becomes the Aztec god
He becomes
with
fire
with,
skeleton.
with the with the headdress and all.
Skeleton warriors.
Yes,
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
that's exactly what he becomes.
But the thing is, he has the headdress too. It's not just like, oh, hey, look, this guy is a giant. You know, he turned into like Ghost Rider. He's like 12 feet tall and has like Montezuma's headdress.
He's the
Is he just Malbogia?
yes.
I'm not saying that wasn't cool, but it was like, why?
No, that was cool.
Why did they do that?
You didn't even hint that he had that power. He just goes poosh, and then he's just huge.
He quote unquote lost control, but he didn't.
And
I bet that's what they were going
in
for.
In Spanish, he goes, "All right, bitch, let's do this." At the Aztec god, and the Aztec god is like, "Oh," and then just beats the shit out of El Diablo.
Well, that's because he had him on the ropes, and the god was like, "Oh, all right, I see how this is gonna go," and then just starts choking him out.
And then they blew up the Fire Cholo along with the god, and then he's dead. And then they move on to the main
So is
fight.
Killer Croc dead?
No, Killer
that's
Croc
right, he comes
crawled
back.
out and
Yeah.
helped them fight.
You know, he should have been
Enchantress.
dead because that bomb went off underwater.
Yo, she spares them 3 times in that fucking fight.
Yeah, it's just like how Apocalypse doesn't just wipe everything from existence in the X-Men movie.
Yeah, she
I
could
haven't
have.
seen
She
that.
could have just because
It was bad.
when they start doing the actual fight scene, she starts using like her teleport type style deal, and she could have just picked up a knife and just stabbed them all in the back.
Yeah.
And she starts to do that, but she goes, "Oh, hold on, let me talk to him real quick."
Or you know that thing where she could turn people into her soldiers? She could have just fucking done that.
You just walk up and French him,
Yeah. Yes.
dude. If I could just like turn people into my slaves like that, that'd be great. Except the fact that they're like grape men.
But anyhow, so they beat her, and Flag's like, "Oh no, my wife," and no one gives a shit in the audience. By the way, no one fucking cares. No one gives a fuck about Flag and June Moon. And turns out June's okay, and everything.
She comes out of like this. She comes out of a practical effect, which is weird considering she was all just CGI'd a second ago.
Yeah, and
She looked so good in the beginning.
then Amanda Waller comes the fuck out of nowhere
Oh,
with her phone.
we skipped a whole part.
No,
We're not even gonna talk about it
no, because it was dumb and didn't make any sense
for her.
for anything.
I want to talk about it because it's dumb. But you can go ahead and continue what you're doing.
Okay, so Amanda Waller gets kidnapped at one point by. The
Oh no, I was
Enchantress.
saying like, are you covering that now?
Yeah, she gets kidnapped
Oh.
at one point by the Enchantress, and then the Enchantress is like, "You're gonna tell me how to destroy your fucking world," and she's like, "No," and she's like,
Well,
"All
she
right,"
specifically says army. She doesn't say world.
but she's just fucking up the planet.
Yeah, she's just fucking up everything. She's taking out like blacklist, like satellite sites. She's taking out carriers.
So what she does is she just puts her tentacles in her ears and hides her away somewhere,
It's just jacking her brain.
and she's just fucking up the planet, and all this is going down. And Suicide Squad takes her out, takes out the Enchantress, and then Amanda Waller comes out of nowhere, perfectly fine and dry, mind you, even though she was in like a water chamber.
She was upside down though. She was hanging.
In the water chamber.
I didn't think she wasn't. I didn't.
No,
think she was
there was
in the
water in that fucking thing.
Yeah, but I think it was just underneath her. I don't think it
That's
was
weird.
around her.
But anyhow, so she comes out with the phone with her fingers just on the screen, like, "I'm gonna blow you up." And then she doesn't. And then they all go back to prison. Except they have stuff now. Like, Deadshot can see his kid. Killer Croc has a couch and is watching. That man's
BET.
watching BET.
He specifically asked for BT, and I don't know if you noticed this, but when they zoomed out of his little cave, he had at least like 4 handles of some alcohol.
Yes. They're like, "All right, time to just make Killer Croc the blackest man possible." But
Well, I mean,
anyhow,
he is from the sewer.
and Fire Cholo's dead.
That's upsetting. I
Rip in
liked
peace.
his character.
Oh, we didn't even talk about this. When way back when they introduced Slipknot and them, and they're all getting geared up, everyone gets their gears. Deadshot gets a suit. Harley Quinn gets
Gets a
her.
baseball bat.
No, she gets her suit. She gets her Harley Quinn suit and just doesn't put it on. She just puts booty shorts on instead.
Gross.
Booty
Yes.
shirts, a
Dude,
bra that matches.
She was in that suit in that movie, and it looked great. But anyway, so I would have rather just see that suit because that suit was actually top tier.
Yeah, but they have to do what sells, and that is a 20-year-old showing ass.
But
Daddy's little monster.
But a fucking sexy ass spandex suit won't. Shut up. That suit was great.
You know, we should just blame Warner Brothers for this. I want to write them a letter.
We
I'm
are.
very upset.
But anyway, so they get their gear. Killer Croc gets his he gets like a gold hoodie.
It was probably a custom made hoodie because he's no small guy.
It
And
looks like Balrog.
yes, he does.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what? The design of his hoodie all reminded me of an Assassin's Creed outfit.
No.
It had a point on the hood.
Did it?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was like a double hooded thing. Because I
No.
think he had on two. Didn't he have on two jackets?
Nope. That was
Which
just
one?
the design of the hoodie. Captain Boomerang gets his stuff.
And his boomerang.
And guess what Fire Cholo gets?
Nothing.
A wife beater.
Yeah.
They give him a wife beater.
He gets
the
his
fuck?
Because he's a cholo.
he gets his chains back. You know what? That's probably what he wore into prison because I feel like that's what they gave him. Whatever they wore into prison.
You know, they should
Which
just
doesn't
gone-
make sense because Harley Quinn, she was wearing like they were out on the town and she was all they wrecked like what was that, an R8 or something,
Yeah.
some Audi or Lambo. She didn't have shit on her. Although she did sucker punch Batman, which is cool.
But so with the Fire Cholo, she just made him completely racist. And like at one point in the movie, just been like, "Yo, what's that smell?" And he's just making tinfoil foods. Like they should have just gone all the way with it. Like seriously.
That, you know what? Between that and if they put Harambe next to the Don't Forget Superman, that would have saved that movie.
All right, the fucking
Where's
9/11
Pinky?
symbolism with Superman in this movie is gross.
Which is why I'm saying that guy that was hawking the shirts, he should have had a Harambe shirt.
Right, I understand,
In a
but
pinky
like,
shirt.
And a pinky shirt. That's why I have my pinky hat on.
all right. So one of the main
Never
things
forget.
that bothers me with this movie is
Wear
these
that the
characters.
next time we hang out with Ian.
These characters spend 4 hours together, right? Zach, they spend around 4 hours together.
I think it was a little bit more than that because it was like midday and it's like middle of the night.
They spent half a day.
Half a day.
I guess.
Most.
All right, so they didn't spend that much time together, and they're like, "Yo, these are my people. This is my team. This is my family. No one fucks with my people, my team, my family." Shut the fuck up.
So would you agree that this felt like 2 movies?
This felt like 3 movies.
Why 3?
This. All right, so the origin movie, where everyone actually is like in the prison together.
Yeah.
Then the movie where they have a mission where they bond. Then the big bad. That's what that felt like to me. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what.
All right, I wanted your
Because
explanation. I wanted
the
your
way I've
breakdown.
seen people describe it is like they have those flashback scenes, and it feels like footage from the first movie.
You know what it could have? You know what they could have done? Just fucking release like a 12 episode series on Netflix, just as their backstory.
Suicide Squad would have been better as a TV show.
Oh
as
my
a
God.
TV show, hell yes.
Especially if they had the same actors.
Yeah, because then you actually could have done something with.
You think they could have
that
got
talent.
Will Smith to sign off for a TV series?
Absolutely.
Hey, speaking of Netflix TV shows, I want to talk about my thing.
Oh, is that
We're
Stranger
not talking about
Things?
Stranger
Yeah.
Things.
Luke has already ruined that for me, so I don't think I'm gonna watch it anytime soon.
Can we do it? Can we do it
really
another time when I watch it?
All right,
Like,
Dylan?
hold on. We're having an adult conversation over here. The right side of the room is talking.
Not anymore. All right.
it's super good.
That's good. All right.
Don't let Luke ruin it for you.
He was just screaming about Barb the whole time.
Yeah, he fell for the memes on Reddit, but like, that is a legitimate problem with the plot.
Hey guys, let's.
Oh man, that show's so
Bring it
fucking
back.
good.
All right, so that's Suicide Squad. I'm done ranting about this
It's
shitty,
bad.
shitty movie. I made a popcorn bucket helmet and talked to the manager about
We're
that
gonna take
film.
a picture of him with that, and that's gonna be the cover for this.
I already have a picture. It's the one where I look like an angry dad in a Juggalo
Yeah.
shirt. We can
All right.
put-
Well,
that could
that's
be
the noise of 3.
No, it's not.
Whoa.
Whoa, Dylan didn't get to talk.
Well, I didn't know how much we were gonna record.
How much did we record?
Like 40 minutes.
Fuck.
You just want to do another episode?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're making another episode.
Well, yeah. This is the Suicide Squad cast. I didn't
Yeah.
think we were going to talk about it that long.
Yeah,
There's
me neither.
there's surprisingly a lot to cover in a movie that does nothing.
Well, because there's
Yeah,
so many
no,
flaws.
So here's the thing. I've heard this movie is like, it has the same problem as like the new Ghostbusters, where it's like not bad enough to be notable and not good enough to be liked.
But there's so many flaws. Like it's very easy to write a paper about something fucking awful.
Yeah.
I
I could just talk about this for hours, which is, I guess, what they want.
kind of like I don't.
See, Okay, because I'm seeing the same kind of blitz marketing though that they did with like Ghostbusters, saying like it's just it's a strong, diverse movie. Because look at the cast: Harley Quinn, which is a white woman, which is she's a canon bisexual character. You have a Japanese woman. You have a black man playing.
We
the
didn't
lead
even
role.
fucking talk about Katana.
She's not important.
No.
and then they try to bring her backstory in on Katana. It's just like, why? Stop it. Leave.
Go ahead.
And like, it's a surprisingly diverse cast. Like you have a Hispanic man, and so you pretty much get the
You
whole
got two
rainbow
black
there.
guys. One of them dies though, because
Yeah.
one of them always has to die. That is Warner Brothers.
it's
way.
like-
Which black guy
Slipknot.
died? Slipknot was white.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
I didn't.
What the fuck, Zach?
I thought he was.
Okay, yeah, look this up. Oh my god.
I didn't think he was white.
The two black guys were Waylon.
He's
which-
white.
Which is Killer
he
Croc.
is?
Oh my fuck.
Then
Which-
who is that guy? Who's the other guy I'm thinking of? It's not Killer Croc. I thought there was another black guy in it.
No. There's only Killer Croc and
That's Slipknot.
Deadshot. They're the only black characters. Yeah,
Man,
that's
he's
a white
He's
man.
an Indian.
No, yeah, he is Native American.
Oh, is he?
I remember reading about that.
Okay.
So he is black.
They killed the Native American first.
Yeah, so okay. So here's the cast. Mexican, black man, white woman, white man, Hispanic woman.
No, that woman. That's Arya from Game of Thrones.
Okay,
Wait, who?
Enchantress,
Enchantress. That's Arya.
Katana, and then
Yes.
Native American white man.
Damn.
Like, that's a pretty diverse cast.
They
So,
tried-
so the marketing is doing that on social media. Like,
Yeah.
this is a progressive movie.
Then why is it so fucking boring?
Shut up.
No.
That's not
Ghostbusters.
the actor's fault. We're not going to talk about Ghostbusters. I'll cut it right there before we talk about Ghostbusters.
All right.
No. It's just the same idea.
Yeah.
It's diverse. Go
So,
see our movie.
I
You're a progressive person, right? Go see our movie. It's progressive.
Speaking
No.
of Ghostbusters, I want to interject this real quick. I told
I watched
Grammy.
Steven Universe.
I told Grammy my mom because
Listen, I'll watch Regalia. That's about gay incest lollies, all right?
hold on. Let me say this real quick. I told Grammy and my mom about because they're like, oh, Ghostbusters. I'm like, it's not what you guys think. I told them about how the oh god the beams. What are they called?
Proton
again?
blast?
I thought you said we're not going to talk
No,
about
I had to say
Proton
this.
blasters.
The proton blasters. I told them the proton blasters. I'm like, you know what the proton blasters do in the new one? And Grammy goes, what? I go, they just kill the ghosts. And Grammy's like, that's not what happened in the original.
Yeah, they shoot him in the nuts to blow him up.
And I go, I know, right? And she goes, oh, just based on that, they ruined it. And I'm just like, savage. And then I told her it was all women, and she just kind of like, oh.
Did you mention that they have to shoot the Ghostbusters logo ghost in the nuts to kill it?
I didn't tell him it was the Ghostbusters logo, but I told him they had to shoot a character in the nuts, and she goes, oh, that's not very nice. How many movies are there where you had to shoot the giant baddie in the vagina to kill him? Has that ever happened?
Teeth.
But that's one. And that was like an actual bad character.
This is a vagina with teeth.
Yeah, but it's not like there were balls, or not like there was teeth on his balls. Alright, I digress. I'm Zach.
Dylan, you going to go?
Oh, you popped up and you were just like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Goat.
And this is The Noise of Three.